Hey guys, how's it going? It's Ricky with TechBot Solutions. So just wanted to do a quick recap on today's trading. Today the team and I traded, multiple different stocks. Started off the day, um, kind of just, introducing, saying good morning to everyone. Kind of introducing the top gainers on my charts, and the main one I had my eyes on for this morning because of the big drop it had yesterday. Was DGAZ, and the reason why is because we saw that it had a safety around 370, held pretty well, at 375. So we wanted to see how it was doing pre-market. Pre-market, we saw it goes up about 4 to 5% right away, and right after it hit that 4 to 5%, had a slight resistance at around $2.90. So what that means is the resistance means that it struggled to go above 290. Therefore, it came back down. We knew the safety was at 275. So what a safety means is that it struggles to go below that point. So now it's bouncing between 275 to 290. Therefore, anything close to 275 on the lower end is considered a good buy. Tried to set a limit order at 275. I couldn't get filled. Ended up getting filled around 275 and a half. Ended up getting filled there. Didn't get filled with my full $2,500 account. Was a little bit under $2,000. Wrote it up, hit that resistance again, came back down. But then that second time that it came back around, we pulled through. Told the team that the resistance was going to be the next one at $3, and the reason why I knew that is because it always happens, when it comes to stocks themselves, like zeros or fives. So 50s and let's say 50 cents or just the dollar mark tend to be a pretty common resistance or even safety altogether. So basically for DGAZ, it obviously had a lot of volume the past couple of days. Didn't pull through that $3 mark, so I locked in a little bit under a 20-cent gain. Since I ended up filling a little bit below the $3 mark, so around 298 is where I actually got filled. So locked in a little bit under a little bit under $100. And it was a slow morning. Didn't really get in the stocks that I wanted to, but I'm going to talk about a couple stocks that you guys asked me to talk about, as well as ones that I see that have potential. So DGAZ, I do see it have potential if it continues to come in by tomorrow and break $3. We should see a pretty big spike in volume, as well as in holders trying to get in on the next in a sense resistance. And the next resistance would be right here around that 320 area. As you can see there, that it trailed to go above 320, and that's what kind of led to the spike down. After it breaks 320, then it's going to put us back up at that 330 area. And if it does end up breaking 330, then that's that huge gap that we have to make up from 330 to around 360, which can lead to a huge 10% profit just within itself. But that's pretty much my analysis on DGAZ. Again, before buying in, make sure you do your own analysis and just you have a better understanding on how to properly label it as a good or bad investment. NUGT being a big trade for this week essentially. I'm going to talk about the 5-day analysis. So it was bouncing between under $5 about 5 days ago, and once it broke that $6 mark, there hasn't been really that much of a stop. There's a lot of people that are giving different reasons on why it's been going up. But again, during our Sunday stock talk, we said that during this these winter or this fall season, especially during the spring season, gold tends to do pretty well. And the reason why is because after the holidays, at least it is a common trend in our economy. Gold tends to go up and our economy tends to go down within the months to follow after Christmas. So with that, NUGT being a gold-based company, you could see that trend following. So it came down from that $6 break and is now at $8.76. So what I see happening with NUGT, if it does end up breaking $8.76, the next level of resistance for NUGT would actually end up being around that $9 mark, obviously, as they like even numbers. But after it ends up passing $9, let's actually go 1 month back. Let's see if I can pull it up. Here we go. So the first resistance would be here right around $9. After $9 would be around $10. And then after 10 we have that gap from $10 to $12.50. So if you guys remember this, about a month ago, it had that huge drop when it was coming, when NUGT was trading from highs of 35, was just on a steady decline, and then broke 1250. 1250 after it broke that, that's what led to this huge bleeding all the way down to the 750. So hopefully we can make up that margin back up and being able to ride it tomorrow all the way back up to 1250. So just wait for the breaks. Don't be scared to lock in the 2, 5, 10% profit, whatever it is that you have. Profit's profit, and we want to make sure that we stay in the green, especially during these last couple of days to end the year strong. So make sure you trade smart, understand the safety nets and resistance levels of NUGT, and then trade according to the trends that you see when analyzing NUGT overall. So I have a bunch of alerts set for this stock and hope that it does end up going up so I can buy in. But again, it is very possible that it's going to start coming back down, and then we're going to have to catch it at either the bounce at 733 or 712 or 650 or any of these other safety nets that it can catch down here. But that's pretty much my analysis on NUGT. Now I did want to talk about this one. DRYS has been plateauing, as you can see here. Now for the past, I believe, well, this is a 2-day analysis, but overall for the past 2 days has been kind of just plateauing around the 375 to 373 area. Has been doing very well, holding within that area. It has had little spikes to go up, but not the potential that I've seen to be able to label it as an investment that I want to buy in. I think when it breaks above 380 and it holds pretty well, kind of like or you see like a huge volume spike, is where I would be interested in buying back in. To be able to lock in minimum 5% profit, but again, shooting and looking for that 10% profit when it comes to trading DRYS. So I have my alert set when it goes above 380, and I have my alert set when it goes below 373, to ensure that I know where DRYS stands within its overall graph. Rex did not move much today. Let me go ahead and refresh it. Came back down from the 49s to 47. Did hit 46. I tried to get filled but did not get filled. That would have been pretty nice, but again, didn't do too much, so I would have just seen a 1 cent return, which is about 2.5% when it comes to trading Rex today. So from and even it might be a little bit less than that. But I do want to answer a couple questions that you guys might have. This is just going to be the last one I'm going to be talking about. So Orex, the pretty strong safety around 167, held pretty well during the closing hours here. Try to break 170, so that is the new resistance that we are trying to break, just because it struggles and bounces in between this area. So hopefully tomorrow we can end up opening a little bit above 170, hope of being able to sell around the 183 area or 185 area. So that's pretty much the plan for Orex. So I'm going to answer a couple questions that some of the traders kind of sent out to me. So this is from, so Dominic actually asked, he's like, where do I actually think NUGT is going, and pretty much do an analysis. So I did that for you already. And now he also asked if I can interpret the bid / ask if you have time. So he asked, because he's been asking a couple questions on why some platforms like brokerage companies as in Fidelity, TD Ameritrade, Yahoo Finance, Robinhood have different market values, as in like Orex right now is at 167. That's its like market value, but how different platforms can have different market values. And I can't tell you, I cannot explain to you exactly why different platforms have different values. I can tell you probably the reason is it's the market value is made up of the bidders and the sellers. So if someone is like with this balance at 167 and 170 when I was trading Orex or looking into Orex, I knew that there were bidders, as in people wanting to buy Oryx at 167, but only sellers were willing to sell around 169 to 170, meaning that no one, although the market value did drop down to 167, I did not see any sellers at that area, meaning that if you had an order to get filled at 167, it would be, very difficult, if not, like impossible to get filled at 167 when no one is actually selling at that point. So what the market value is made up of is the median price of the sellers and the sellers and the buyers. So it tries to give you an average on that price itself, and that's why I think it's putting it at 167, as it was bouncing from 167 to 168 during the closing hours. So it just gave you a market price of 167. So when it comes to bidding different stocks, you have to look at the depth, and Robinhood does not allow you to do that. TD Ameritrade does a beautiful job on allowing you to see the actual the people that are trying to sell. And I actually took a screenshot and I shared it with you guys yesterday. I'm gonna try to see if I could find it. And with that screenshot, it's not even loaded. Let's see. And in that screenshot, you see, where people are trying to sell and where people are trying to buy, and that gap. So if you're someone that's trying to sell, you always want to beat the other people that are trying to sell close to that same price. Putting it like 1/10 of a cent, less than them can actually be, the deciding factor on you getting filled instead of them. So this is it. This is the people that are asked. So ask means sellers, bid means bidders. So people are trying to sell at 320, as you can see, the ask price, and people are trying to buy at 313. So there's obviously a 7-cent gap right there. And then when ATEC came out to going back and forth, it would show the price fluctuate dramatically from 320 to 313 to 320 to 313, because it was just bouncing in between that area, because it couldn't find a median price since no one was willing to sell in between that area. So that's pretty much why, Dominic, that there's a market value, but the market value really doesn't mean much, because we set limit orders, and that means at the price that you want to be selling at or buying at. So make sure that you're always aware of what people are buying and selling at, to ensure that you could beat those other sellers and that you could beat those other buyers as well. So you use that to your advantage. So Julian did a good job talking about the tension right now with Russia and the U.S., which could be a reason why NUGT did so well these past couple of days, because it's kind of saying that our economy isn't going to be doing too well. Therefore, gold tends to do well when our economy tends to do bad. So that was a pretty good analysis for Julian himself. And then Matthew touched based on he thinks that it's gonna try to hit $9 and come back down for gold itself, which is highly possible. I'm not 100% sure if that's actually what's going to happen, but again, just set your alerts. Set your alerts if it falls below what is this price, 830, and then put your alerts when it goes above 880, and with that whether you would have a better understanding within the day on if it breaks above that resistance, or if it breaks below that safety, and then continue setting your alerts with these different areas to follow. And then I'm going to do my last analysis on BAA. So this is a 19-cent stock, so let's look at it year to date. Okay, this looks to be like a pretty good trend for gold itself. Looks like it's bouncing at a very similar area that it did last year in a sense. So if we could go a little bit further back and kind of seeing how that played out last year, into seeing almost the same thing, went a little bit higher this year, so but it definitely looks like it has a lot of upward potential. So I think, and this is actually it's going to be a little bit of a riskier one, because it is a true penny stock, as it trades below 50 cents, but it does have a gap to fill, and with that, I mean, it has this, once it breaks this little like resistance here at pretty much 20 cents, it has this like gap to fill from 20 cents to 30 cents and all the way up to here to 45 cents. And that's good to see. We still have the potential to buy in at this good point, but again, don't just buy in to buy in. Make sure that it breaks and it's starting to, you see that upward momentum before buying in, because you don't want to, buy in and then, it actually be a resistance and then just catch back down, and then have to, stop loss out at 15 cents. The reason why I say that is because it does look to have like a safety here at 15 cents, as it did, 1 year ago. It seems like it caught there pretty well. So I'm going to set my alerts and I'm going to add this one to my watch list. And thank you again for introducing this one to us, Spencer. This one actually looks like a pretty good one. Volume looks good. Everything looks good on this one. Let me just look at the daily. Yeah, volume doesn't look too bad. No, not crazy volume, but definitely has volume. So today overall, it had a pretty good day. Saw 13, almost 14% return. So hopefully we can, replicate that same day tomorrow, as long as it breaks above 20 cents. And again, 20 cent stock, 10%, it's a 2-cent gain. So just keep that in mind, but that also means you have to stop loss out, a lot shorter. So keep that in mind as well. So again, if you guys haven't done so already, this is TechBud Solutions. So you guys can, ask to join. The link is going to be provided for you down below on our YouTube page. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. It will have my email down there, so you guys can feel free to reach out to me and ask for the welcome document, which will allow you to join, this group me where we, communicate with one another and talk about, what we're trading actively Monday through Friday. So if you guys, would like to be a part of this team and kind of want to learn the basics of trading penny stocks and investing, it's a free group you could join. Again, the links are provided for you down below, so feel free to do so. And if you guys can, we would really appreciate it. And, click that subscribe button. Thank you guys again. I hope you guys have a good night, and let's make sure that we, end the year on a green note. So take care.